Harvey, David Harvey. A paedophile admitted raping a girl after police discovered his sick conversations with men fantasizing about the abuse. David Harvey groomed and then repeatedly molested the young child after telling her sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. The 59-year-old later went online and told one man he could impersonate his victim in twisted sex games, referring to him by the girl's name, but claims this was just roleplay. Harvey of Black Cape Walk, Birchwood, Warrington, showed no emotions as the judge slammed his corrupted and depraved behaviour. Liverpool Crown Court heard the abuse came to light in June 2020 when the victim's mom received a text from one of her daughter's friends at school. This girl told the mom her daughter had texted her saying, "I was sexually assaulted for years and wanted to say something but I was too scared." Robert Dudley, prosecuting, said that the mom spoke to her child, who confirmed Harvey had made her touch him, and the police were informed. The court heard the abuse, including Harvey making the victim get undressed before lying on top of her and rubbing his penis against her. He made her perform sex acts on herself, saying he wouldn't touch her if she did them, so she did because she didn't want him to touch her. Mr. Dudley said Harvey also performed sex acts on her, made her perform sex acts on him, and on one occasion he raped her. The victim said he was bigger and stronger than me, and if I didn't do it, he'd hold me down and in place. When Harvey was arrested and interviewed by police in June 2020, Harvey denied sexual abuse his victim and said her accusations were not true. He was interviewed again in March this year when police confronted him with evidence of the conversations he had online with other men, including a person called Andrew. The court heard in one chat he told Andrew, "You can be," the victim's name, "and I can fuck you." How sick. Harvey continued to address this man using the name of this child victim and talked about needing them to come serve him soon. He admitted sending Andrew 3 images of his erect penis, but claimed the chats were just roleplay and a scenario being acted out by 2 men. Harvey, who had no previous convictions, later admitting rape, 3 counts of sexual assault and 2 counts of causing a child to engage in sexual activity. Mr. Dudley said his victim now struggles to sleep, gets anxiety when talking about her ordeal, and just wants to forget about it. The victim's statement: the girl's mom said she's too suffered from raised levels of anxiety and stress and worries about her daughter. Judge Menard told Harvey, essentially during this period you used her as your sex partner or sexual plaything, asking her if she wanted to have fun and engage in very intimate sexual activity. This was thoroughly corrupted and depraved behaviour. The judge said this chat with the man Andrew online were very significant incriminating evidence. He said, the interview you deny all of the allegations, even though the police by then had obtained details of the chat conversation you have with men online about fantasizing involving having sex with an adult dressed as a schoolgirl and using the same name as your victim. Judge Mary added, I've no doubt what you did to your victim will haunt her for many years, if not for the rest of her life. It's likely to affect her relationships as she grows up, and the effect is likely to be profound. He said it was too soon to properly assess the impact of his appalling abuse on the child, but note the crimes involved planning and grooming behaviour. Judge Mary said Harvey was an offender of particular concern and jailed him for 10.5 years with an extended 1 year on licence. This type of sentence means he must serve at least half of his term in prison before he can apply to the parole board for his release. He will only be released before the end of the 10.5 years. If he is no longer concerned to be a risk, Judge Mary ordered Harvey to sign on the Sexual Offenders Register and to comply with the Sexual Harm Prevention Order for life. David Harvey.